Hello everyone, Kingdom Kid here with my thoughts of the PlayStation showcase that they showed on Thursday, and going to talk about some of the things I liked and some of the things that they didn't show that I kind of hoped they would show, and then talk about all the stuff that they showed that I really liked. So yeah, they showed a lot of good things. I'm going to say it was a great and solid presentation. I definitely say it was probably an 8 out of 10. Good 8 out of 10 presentation for this. Obviously, they didn't show Lost Judgment, which I'm actually surprised about that, considering they showed fucking Deathloop, and that's coming out in like 3 days. But yeah, just like, oh no, let's not show Lost Judgment. Let's not show anything that's coming out this month except for Deathloop, which was literally coming out in 3 days. Like, what the fuck? But thank God we will never have to see that game again in anything. I mentioned it. This is my predictions. Like, if people are hyped for it, good. Just for me personally, the more I kept seeing it, the more I was like, please stop showing this game. So that was just my thoughts right there. So they didn't show Lost Judgment, nothing Jak and Daxter related, and nothing Persona related. Which Persona was definitely the biggest stretch I was going for. Was like that could possibly show. But obviously they didn't show anything Persona related. Nothing Kingdom Hearts related. No Final Fantasy either. They did show Guardians of the Galaxy, which was pretty alright. I mean, I am interested in that game. I don't think I'll do it as a Let's Play though, considering I think I'd have already my plate full of stuff. But we'll see. Maybe it can be. I think it's coming out late October. I can't remember. So maybe we'll be done by Lost Judgment by then or something. Who knows? So there's that. They didn't show Avengers, which I'm not too surprised. I was like, that was a possibility. Yeah, that's the only thing Square Enix related that they showed. Oh, and Forspoken. They showed Forspoken stuff, which is awesome. Coming out in spring 2022, so can't wait for that. I actually really like the trailer that they had for it. I'm trying to think of all the other things. Yeah, nothing Bloodborne related. They didn't have oh, here's a remastered or a, HDified version of The Last of Us 2, but they did do that for Uncharted 4 and The Lost Legacy, which is awesome. It's coming for both PlayStation 5 and PC, which is cool. I don't know if the other Uncharted games are on PC. If they aren't, then it's weird that they would put the fourth one on PC first. If the other ones are on PC, then that's cool. So that's cool. I'm kind of jumping all over the place here. I'm kind of mentioning this stuff, so. But yeah. And I was actually right. They ended it by talking about God of War Ragnarok, and I'll talk more about that later on. Just in the order of the things that they had. Knights of the Old Republic remake. I don't know if this is the first time it got announced. I think there was rumors going around, but I think if this is the first announcement, then that's awesome. I'm honestly excited for that. I've never played the first one because it was Xbox only and PC, but yeah, I'd love to play that. Who knows when that's coming out? They don't really have much into it. They kind of did a little Nintendo Treehouse section after the presentation, kind of talked about some of those games, about oh, how we are, and they talked to one of the developments, was we can't show you much yet, but we're excited to show you stuff when we get more done. So that's awesome. Project Eve, I honestly don't remember much about this. I think this is something that they showed off before, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. It reminds me a lot of Devil May Cry and Bayonetta and Rising Revengeance playstyle, so I'm excited to learn more about that. Forspoken, I already talked about that. Alan Wake Remastered coming out in 5 days. Okay, it's not 5 days. It's coming out October 5th, so it's actually fairly close. I'll check that out. Ghostwire Tokyo, we mentioned that. I mentioned as they could show that, and they did. They didn't have a release year or anything about that, so I'm excited for that still. And we already went over Uncharted. This is something I didn't expect. Insomniac Games making a Marvel Wolverine game. That has me hyped as fuck. Because I'm they did great with Spider-Man. And now they have Wolverine, who's probably my second or third favorite superhero. Coming in, it's okay. I trust them with this. So yeah. And speaking of Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2 did get announced. And it does have Venom, but it also has Kraven. Excuse me. It also has Kraven the Hunter, which I'm super excited for that as well. And I'm sure they're going to have other people there. Probably Electro could be in there again. I think there's a little tease about Electro. Mysterio could be showing up. I love the show more so a focus of villains that they didn't show in the first game. I think I love it. So yeah, they didn't show Mysterio. They had someone play, like, you know, it was Halloween, so they had someone dressed up as Mysterio. So I definitely Venom is awesome. Kraven the Hunter coming in is awesome. I want my Electro again. He's not bad. I'm trying to think of some other villains that didn't show up. They could have Sandman. Vulture did show up. Vulture was there. So that's awesome. That's awesome. I cannot wait. It's coming out in 2023, so that's fine. I mentioned this before. It's like, how can PlayStation have like 3 home runs with Horizon and God of War coming out in 2022? And then Spider-Man possibly coming out in 2022. But don't have to worry about that. That's coming out in 2023, so it's all good. And last but not least, they have God of War Ragnarok coming out. They didn't give a release year, but I think it is coming out for 2023, or 2022, excuse me. So that's awesome. And another thing about that is, during like that treehouse segment that they had at the end, they mentioned this is the final God of War in the Norse mythology saga. So I expected a trilogy, but watching that trailer, I mean, Ragnarok's happening. One of the guys that says we can't call it Ragnarok without Ragnarok happening. So, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Ragnarok is the end of all the Norse gods. Like, that's the end. So, I'm excited to check it out. Atreus has grown up. You can hear it in his voice. If that's the same voice actor who voiced him in 2018 game, wow. Wow, that's amazing. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for God of War Ragnarok, the 6th God of War, because you have the first God of War, you have God of War 2, God of War 3, then you have God of War Ascension, which is technically the 4th one, and 2018 is the 5th game. So yeah, this is God of War 6, if we're going in that order, and you don't count Ghost of Sparta and Chains of Olympus. So I'm excited. Like I said, I think they did a great job, and I can't wait to learn more. We have TGS coming up here shortly, so maybe that's where like I said, that's probably where we'll see all the Final Fantasies. That's probably where we'll see some Kingdom Hearts related, maybe. Who knows? But anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you guys were excited for that they showed at this presentation. Like I said, I think it was really good. And of course, like I said, they showed off a lot of games too. They showed off Gran Turismo. And yeah, I think that's the only other thing that I didn't mention. So let me know what you guys thought. And thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you guys with my predictions for Square Enix's TGS and also my last quarter update coming at the end of this month, beginning of October. So later, guys.